And I can work with, you know, my fellow board members
You can work with them, meaning,
to go to meetings and,
does
you know,
your,
and I can be, and I will be professional about it.
yeah.
I didn't read much of it. I read a couple of the things.
You can read those right now.
Yeah, I don't really care. Anyway, here's the thing. We are democratically elected officials. If somebody wants to make fun of me and make a website, they can do that. That's their First Amendment right.
Best practices. We've had auditors in the past, twice. And from the 2015 Auditor General Report from the state of Arizona, where they say we've had costs not accurately reported. In fiscal year 2012, when I believe we had an auditor, the district did not always properly classify its expenditures in accordance with the Uniform Chart of Accounts for school districts. As a result, the district's annual financial report did not accurately reflect its costs, and its reported instructional expenditures were falsely increased by over $5 million, or 3 percentage points. Further, the district has not accurately reported its costs for many years. For example, between fiscal years 2004 and 2009, the district annually reported millions of dollars of electricity costs as instructional spending rather than plant operations spending as required by the Uniform Chart of Accounts. Additionally, in fiscal years 2012 and 2013, the district reported its costs for speech and physical therapy, guidance counseling, and psychology services for students as instructional spending, although the Uniform Chart of Accounts defines these costs as student support services. Further, in fiscal year 2014, the district began misreporting its costs for property liability insurance as instructional spending rather than plant operation spending as required by the Uniform Chart of Accounts. I don't know that having an internal auditor would solve these issues. That is why while I understand the need for fiscal accountability and transparency, I don't know that having an internal auditor will resolve those issues, and that's why I call upon hiring an outside,
Right.
nonpartisan person to suggest best practices and perhaps also suggest best ways of training our personnel.
If you
Are we rebuilding
don't,
the
so if you
school?
don't want to rebuild it, what do
I
you
did,
want?
did I
what do you want
say,
these people
excuse
to-
me, let me be perfectly clear, do not interrupt me. You don't like it when other people interrupt you.
Well, but we've had growths in this district, you know, again, I'm being honest, where there's something called the lemon dance. And I've heard this from people in education where maybe somebody isn't doing a great job in a particular position and they get moved around and they're no longer somebody's problem anymore. District, you know, again, I'm being honest, where there's something called the lemon dance. And I've heard this from people in education where maybe somebody isn't doing a great job in a particular position and they get moved around and they're no longer somebody's problem anymore.